Okay, this is how to keyframe titles in Premiere to get them to move and change in various ways. So first of all, we need a title. You can either get a title by clicking down here and selecting New Item, Titles, or you can get a title up here, New Title. We'll go for a default still title and make it the size of the project. Okay, so first of all, let's put some text on. As you can see, I can see in the background here the picture on the timeline where the timeline marker is. I'll show you how you can get rid of that in a second. Title, whoops, can't spell. Title 1. That will do, and I'll just make this text box that I dragged out a little bit smaller. And we'll maybe move that into the middle there, title 1. Now, if this is not going over an object, sometimes you want it over a piece of footage because you want to make, say, a lower third graphic or something like that, but sometimes you don't. The easiest way to do that is just make sure that the timeline marker is not on any footage, and then you get a black background. Here's title 1, and I'm just going to save that now. I'm happy with that. And as I save it, it goes into the open folder here. So if you want to be very organised, which you should be, you should really create a graphics folder. I'll click back up one, right click in this area, click create a new bin. They're called bins because film used to be stored in bins, and I can call that titles or whatever. And then, of course, I'll need to move my title into there. If I'd made that folder in the first place, it would already be in there. But given that I haven't, what I can do is right-click, cut, and go back up to that folder, open it, right-click, paste, and that way, I'm organising my project. I've got footage, I've got titles, I could have graphics, sound track, etc, etc. Okay, so let's put this title on the timeline. Let's imagine it's coming. Let's put it over this footage to begin with, but I don't want it there. I want it to be before the footage, so I'll just move that footage along. And to keep my timeline tidy, I'll drop it down onto video track 1. No point in using video track 2 if you don't have to. So there's my title, okay, and I want to animate that. So I'm going to make it gradually grow, okay. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to click on it once, and then go to Effects Controls up here, and I'm going to open the Motion Effects Controls. And now the motion that you can effect here is position and scale, as well as rotation and various other things. So if I just want this to grow, all I do is I make sure that I'm at the start of that, the first frame in there, and I can tell that up there. I can use keyboard shortcuts, the up and down arrows, to go to first and last frames. If I do go to the last one, I've got to go one, I've got to use the left arrow to go one back to get onto the last frame, but if I use the up arrow, I go to the first frame, the down arrow, then one back, goes to the last frame. You can't see that obviously because you can't see the keyboard, but that's what you have to do. So on the first frame then, and I'm going to set a keyframe for scale, okay, which is the size of the thing. Then I'm going to go, and all I do to set the keyframe is I click in the stopwatch on the first frame. Now I'm going to go to the last frame, so I press keyboard arrow down and then keyboard arrow left one to get to the last frame. And now I'm going to just change that. Now as soon as I change it, it will put the new keyframe in. I don't need to press that, which is add keyframe, to do it. I just can change it. I mean, if you want to, you can press that to add a keyframe, but you don't need to, because as soon as you put one keyframe in, then when you move along on the clip and you change the value of what you've keyframed, it'll automatically add the next keyframe in. So there you can see it growing on screen. I'll go to 120, I'll go to 130 or so. Now, when I play that back, you'll see that that is now gradually growing, okay? And it ends up there. Now, what about if I want another title to come up? So let's say maybe I had title 1 and then title 2. Let me show you how to do that. I'm going to actually move this title over a little bit. And the easiest way to do that is just to change its position up here. Don't keyframe it, because I want it to stay in the same place. So I'll just pull that over there, like that. Now I need a new title coming up that is going to say and 2. I don't know why, it just is. So I'm going to go new item, title, or again I could go title, new title, default still. And I'll bring that up. And now you can see title 1 because the timeline is over title 1. Okay, if I move it to there I can't see it, if I move it to there I can see whatever footage is below. Now I actually want to see title 1 because I want to know where title 2 has got to come up. So I'm going to leave that on there, and now I'm going to start my new title. So, alright, and 2. Okay, and I'm going to change to the selection tool, pull that down a bit, move it into position, and I will change its colour. Okay, just because that's something you kind of sometimes want to do. So I'll just select a different colour there. Okay, now it's a bit smaller at the moment. So I might want to increase its size, but of course it's the same size as title 1 starts at. Okay, so I'll leave it there, and I'll do the same thing with and 2. I think I'll leave that there and make that one grow as well. I'll just pull it slightly over so it's got room to grow. Okay, and I shut that down, and there it is in the titles bin. Now I put this one over the top of the other one, like so. Make it a bit smaller. And now what we've got is title 1 growing and then title 2 suddenly appearing. Now it looks a bit stupid, so I'm going to put some fade ups in. So I'm just going to click with my pen tool on the opacity band, or the opacity slider, or whatever you call it, like that. So that's faded title 1 in, and if we now watch that, you'll see that that's fading in. And then title 2 we need to do the same. Now I can't see the opacity slider, I have to open the video track, which I've now done, and I'll put that one fading in and fading out, and I kind of want title 2 at the end to be bigger as well, so I'm just going to go to that final frame and I'm going to change back to my the arrow tool, click on it so that it loads it up into the effects control, open motion, select scale. Okay, I need to go to the first frame first, so I'm going to use my up arrow to get to the first frame. Oh, that's interesting, it's gone to the first frame of title 1, so I'm going to do it manually. Don't know why, when I use my up arrow it went to the first frame of title 1, but this is the first frame of title 2. Hit my scale keyframe, I've already put it in. I'll cancel, I'll delete it and I'll start again. So I'm on the first frame, hit the scale 1 keyframe, go to the last frame. Now I've faded it out, so I'm not going to actually see, but I remember I went to like 125 or so, 130, didn't I? It'll be faster though, this one will come in faster because the clip is actually shorter. But now if you look, what we've got is title 1 coming in and moving slowly, and then title 2 coming in and then both of them fading out together. And that's roughly how you do it. If I was continuing with this, I'd kind of want and 2 to come in a bit closer, so I can just change that there, pull that in a bit. It might be a bit low, it's a bit high as well, so you know, getting it kind of pretty accurately where you want it. So now let's have another quick look. Title 1 and 2, and they both fade out. There we go. If I want to make them kind of drift across the screen as well, I'm just going to set keyframes for position. Let me show you this. I'm going to set a keyframe here in the middle for position, and then I'm going to move along a little bit to the end, and I'm going to change that position to, let's just move it that way a bit, 879, and I'll do the same on the other one, on the title 1. So click title 1, and I'm going to change that position there to 879. Oh, hang on, getting confused now. I've got to do a keyframe at the beginning of title 2 at the existing position. So I'll get back to that first. Oh no, it's title 1, isn't it? I'm working on now. So I've got to do keyframe at the beginning of title 1 in that position, and keyframe where on title 2 the other keyframe is. So let's just go to title 2, hit on title 2. There's that keyframe right there. Can you see that one? I can use these tools, by the way, to jump backwards and forwards between keyframes. So that's where the movement starts. So that's actually on title 1 where I've got to put my keyframe for position, because that's where the movement starts, and then right at the end of title 2, let's see what it was 871, so I've got to go onto title 1 and change that position to 871. Okay, like so. And now they should sort of, after a little while, they'll start drifting off to the right. Here they go, there's N2, and there they go. They didn't quite go as I planned, but that's the general gist. Okay, hopefully that's been interesting and useful. If not, let me know.